welcome to the first season of the Is the Planet Doomed podcast. This is a project produced by the students of a course with the same name in the Department of Geography at Colgate University. By unpacking some of the world's most pressing and complex problems, the episodes in this podcast help answer the question, well, are we doomed? In this episode, Tommy Riccio delves into what artificial intelligence might do to a key aspect of the economy, our jobs.
Marie Porter is testing technology that has cast a daunting shadow over her industry. Marie is a truck driver, but today her office looks different. Marie is not on the road at all. She is driving her truck remotely from the office of Bay Area startup Starsky Robotics.
We came out of this from the gate hoping to make trucks drive without a person sitting in them. That's why what we're doing is we're making trucks autonomous when they're on the highway, but teleoperated or remote control off of it.
That was Stefan Seltz Exmacher, founder and CEO of Starsky Robotics. Starsky Robotics is one of the many companies exploring driverless trucking. The increases in automation due to advances in artificial intelligence make this futuristic invention possible. Some fear that AI will start putting tons of people, like truckers, out of work. Many industry leaders have begun to pursue AI breakthroughs for their vast opportunity. Promises of increased economic productivity and safety have proved irresistible. The incredible potential of AI driving its surge is evident. But the 2.4 million truck drivers like Marie Porter see their jobs on the chopping block. Experts predict the truck driving industry as only the first labor market to die off due to automation. Some expect that ultimately all jobs will become null and void. Many influential figures have gone public with their fears. Famous trailblazer Elon Musk shared his opinions on the expected labor disruption.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge.
Musk is right. AI is certain to continue impacting labor. Many jobs that exist today will become irrelevant. The inevitable labor shifts caused by AI will require swift solutions. The highest levels of our leadership are taking the threat of AI seriously. President Obama requested multiple reports from his economic advisors on the growing labor impact of AI. President Obama has expressed a more nuanced and informed analysis on the matter.
What we want to be able to do is develop systems that are open enough, transparent enough that human judgment, human imagination, creativity are still intruding.
The philosophy of worker-AI collaboration is known as extended intelligence. Most scholars studying the AI labor impact agree with President Obama. Many firmly believe that with the correct systems in place, workers will be better off in a future heavily automated economy. If jobs are certain to be lost, then how will we be better off? Well, let's begin with estimated job loss. Many estimates are calculated using faulty logic. The errant estimates do not account for the difference in tasks between two separate jobs within the same occupation. For example, an office assistant at one firm performs different tasks than an office assistant at a separate firm. These differences tend to include more creative tasks that automation cannot duplicate. Failure to account for this difference has created a notable upward bias in job loss estimates. Experts have found that upward bias has overestimated job loss by over 400%. The more thorough and accurate analyses scale back the problem. Job losses will not be as widespread as many suggest. These analyses also illuminate the solution. the exclusively human aspects of labor. The real story is the jobs gained, not the jobs lost. Robust technological innovation has been occurring for centuries, yet the labor force is healthier than ever. David O'Toole, a labor economist at MIT, explains this phenomenon.
Many of the great inventions of the last 200 years were designed to replace human labor. We no longer dig ditches by hand, pound tools out of wrought iron, or do bookkeeping using actual books. And yet, the fraction of US adults employed in the labor market is higher now in 2016 than it was 125 years ago in 1890.
The human, non-automatable aspect of labor will create new labor industries for workers of all skill levels. AI experts from the consulting firm Accenture forecast 3 new broad categories of jobs created via automation. The 3 categories are trainers, explainers, and sustainers. Trainers will engage with AI to ensure it performs as intended. For example, customer service robots will need to be trained to detect the complexities of human communication. Explainers will help close the knowledge gaps in AI technology. The complex algorithms used in AI are difficult to grasp. Someone will need to provide clarity between technology and the business leaders employing it. Explainers will play the important role of closing these meaningful knowledge gaps. Sustainers will play a critical role in maintaining the function of AI as intended. Imperfect humans will create imperfect robots. These imperfections can cause the technology to stray from its original intent. Sustainers will be responsible for correcting the unintended consequences of AI. This category of new jobs will be pivotal in raising the trust in AI. Paul Doherty, the Chief Technology Officer at Accenture, explains how trainers, explainers, and sustainers compose the missing middle of the extended intelligence framework.
We really believe that with AI, we're not moving into a more machine-oriented age. We're actually moving into an age that's more human age, where we can accentuate what makes us human, empowered by more powerful tools that are more human-like in their ability, and that creates these new types of jobs. So we call that the missing middle.
These 3 new categories of jobs are promising for future labor prospects for a few reasons. First, these jobs offer opportunities for workers of varying skill levels. Trainers will not even need a high school degree. This detail is crucial, as unskilled workers are at the highest risk for job loss. Secondly, demand for these collaborative roles will only rise as workforce automation increases. More technology will need to be trained, explained, and sustained. Unfortunately, we currently lack the necessary systems in place to implement a labor shift of this scale. There is already a digital skills shortage in the workforce. This shortage will only be amplified with the growth of AI. There are an increasing amount of open online courses offered by universities and coding boot camps. Programs like these are off to a good start. Yet, quality varies and there must be improvement, expansion, and adaptation. This undertaking is necessary to sustain the labor force and avoid creating a useless class of workers. There is more needed than just training displaced workers. We will need to account for outside factors converging with the labor disruption. The most threatening factor is income inequality. Inequality among workers is already rampant and is at great risk with worker displacement. President Obama highlights the threat.
If, in fact, we're producing more than ever, but more and more of it's going to a small group at the top, how do we make sure that folks have a living income?
Rising inequality is just another factor we must worry about. Tying all the factors together to continue retraining workers will be a difficult but necessary task. We will need to establish, expand, and consistently refine our training programs. the fate of the worker will depend on it. The future of work is yet to be determined. We know that jobs will be lost. We know that even more jobs will be created. What happens in between will determine the future of work. For Colgate University, I'm Tommy Riccio.